We are live. Hey, Global Inspiration Nation. This is Mr. Michael Adams from Keep Inspiration Alive. Join me on a journey and let's read together, shall we? All right, I want to go into my journey because stuff is amazing on the mental and emotional release, and that you should apply this in your life. This stuff is amazing. All right. So I just went through, I'm going through 11-week, 12-week process of MER, which is mental and emotional release. It's an NLP technique. I believe it's founder of time of or it stems from timeline therapy. There's a dynamic of that as well in there. So the breakthrough session I went through last week, I'm on week number 2 right now. Last week I went through a breakthrough session. It was like about 10 hours long total, I think, give or take. I got it written down somewhere, like 9.5 hours, 10 hours, something like that, broken up into 2 days. I was given the option to do part 1 the first day, then we move into part 2. It's depending on how I felt. I felt great through part 1. I'm like, let's move on, and so we moved on. And on day 1, I went through most of part 2, but then we kind of ended it towards the end, and we broke it into 2 days, and then the next day was like an hour and a half or something. So since then, I've like really de-stressed my body. My body is calm. I am calm. I'm clear. I'm the 3 C's that I've noticed today is calm, casual, and clarity is what I am, is what is me now. And it's really just amazing. It's so subtle. It's really interesting. And I'm finding more my path. I'm building more clarity as we were like I discovered. I was helped guided into discovering what my professional career values were, which was very interesting to me, very eye opening. It helped me like shift a little bit because I was been trying to figure out how to identify core values and core beliefs and worldviews for a very long time now. I've heard from Toby Christensen. He's the president of Drum Church that I tend to every week, and he's a excellent person in personal and spiritual growth. He's a shaman himself. He just trained in West Africa and with shamans. So he's got a lot of knowledge on that. And he always speaks upon. He was also on TED Talk. I'd love to do a TED Talk. I am going to do a TED Talk. I called it, therefore there it is. That it shall be. Right? So he was talking about how people really like once they identify their core values, core beliefs, and worldviews, people seem to kind of sail. So I've always been like trying to figure out like, well, what are my core values? What are my core beliefs? I was always trying to do it on my own. This process of the mental and emotional release breakthrough session of this 11 or 12 week I don't really know what you call this. I was gifted this. I'm like really truly blessed to be gifted this. Like seriously, from the bottom of my heart, I want to do a shout out to Astrofox, who like I don't know how she went about this. I don't know what was behind the scenes, but all I know is I was gifted this, and thank you, Astrofox. You are amazing. You rock. She is the Joy Coach, by the way, in case anyone wants to know. Joy Coach. She's amazing. She like does like singing mantras and positive singing and musical mantras. Anyways, so let's get back on track. So I like did like this whole breakthrough session, right? Where it's like I just kind of like cleared out all these blocks that I had. And I came to recognize that I had like blocks dating back like 3 lifetimes ago. Let me repeat that. 3 lifetimes ago in the subconscious mind. And it doesn't matter if it's real or not. It's the belief that we hold. So people are like, well, I don't believe in that stuff. Oh, that's great. Like I do. Your subconscious is programmed differently. Like it pulls from the subconscious. And so like for some reason, my subconscious believes that I was here 3 lifetimes ago and I was hanging on to some things from that. So I was like, wow, that's amazing. And I was also holding on to things that happened when I was in my mother's womb and also during birth. I found that super fascinating because like that pulls from my subconscious mind, and I'm like, oh wow, that's really interesting. And so I cleared those out. It's through a process of like timeline therapy, and um, and which I've done in the past before. But this one was like, we're gonna go through all of them. Or like we're gonna identify like all your blocks, and we're just gonna just rail right through them. And I'm like, all right, sounds good to me. All right. And like, there's a change, there's a subtle change, and it's like very subtle. And it's like, now I'm coming down into like my baseline. I'm still kind of like settling into like that foundation, that grounding, that ground foundation, solid ground foundation. Like I still feel the effects of it, but it's so subtle. But since like I've done timeline therapy in the past, I'm aware of how subtle it is. It's powerful, but it's also so subtle that like if you don't pay attention to it, you'll just like automatically think, well, I did this on my own, which you do because you're guided through it, and you need to release it. You need to be ready to release. But it's so subtle that like it's sometimes like really easy to overlook that like, oh, wait a minute, this was because of the mental and emotional release process that I just went through. And so like all week I've been aware of that. I've been kind of like watching, paying attention. I'm like really focusing on my shoulders. I still have a little tension in them, but they're like so much more relaxed. I catch myself and they just kind of like woo relax more. And I'm like, oh, that's good. Oh, that's good stuff right there. Stuff's phenomenal. You guys need to do this. And hopefully I'll be able to like learn this in the future. I really want to set the intention that to learn this and be certified. I don't really know. I just want to learn this stuff. I remember Tony Robbins did this, and he's like the number one NLP person. He was never like really certified, and he's certified certifications but like I really want to like learn this. Like I don't really care about the certification, but like I truly want to like learn this stuff so I can like pay it forward and help other people. I could imagine myself just sitting there like just kind of casually just kind of hanging out with my friends, and guiding them through this, how I'm being guided through. That'd be amazing. Like help other people like around the world, my new friends, that are coming my way and we haven't met yet, and we haven't gotten in contact with yet. Future friends of the future, and just like do this stuff with them. Like I find this stuff so fascinating, and I would love to be able to like turn it around and like help other people. I'm gonna set that intention. Yeah. All right. And then so I'm kind of like grounding into myself. I've like created this outline, right, of like really like what to do, because I like really identified that like I'm a writer, like simple as that. Like I'm a writer. I really enjoy the writing process, and like I used to be all over the place, like going like, oh, I need to do YouTube, I need to do TikTok, I need to do Instagram Reels, I need to be on Facebook. I guess I should probably do Facebook Reels too. Maybe I should throw in a couple tweets over on Twitter. I don't know what I'm doing. I was all over the place. I guess I needed to go through that, right? Because it's like it helped me like hone in that like I'm a writer. Like I really enjoy the writing process, and not only that, like I really enjoy playing with AI and creating like prompting it just right. And like it's helping me to because I've been so blocked with my writing for like so many years. Not anymore. That's like dissipated from me. Like I am a writer. But like prior to this whole thing, like I was always like really scared to like, write and like really share my story. And like since now that I'm like settled down, like I'm at a baseline now. Like this is my baseline: calm, casual, creative, you know, calm, casual, creative. Was that what I said earlier? The 3 C's: calm, casual, creative. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what I said earlier, but that's how I feel: calm, casual, creative. And today, for example, like I was writing, did some blogs on the platform Medium. Go check me out at Keep Inspiration Alive on the platform Medium. And I'm writing more, and I'm like really like learning how to like hone in. I'm like more calm with like AI, because AI is an art, right? And so like I write a lot of blogs using AI as a tool to help me, because not like what it's doing is it's helping me identify, because I prompting it just right and learning to prompt it and constantly like honing in my skills on prompting AI just right. It also shows me like how to structure writing and like really like to like open up and like really share my story of addiction and what I went through and how I overcame it and how I resolved all my unresolved issues and how I've like the whole process and journey of that. And I find it fun now. And today I was like really surprised because like calm, casual, creative, right? I was like just kind of just doing it. And I honed it in a little bit more. I'm using the AI tool and I'm learning to like sit with it longer. Before I used to like feel like really sporadic before. And now I'm just like kind of like really using it. And tonight I was just kind of using it and I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. Cause I kept like honing in on it a little bit more because I'm all about authenticity. Right. So it's like, that was like a big thing for me. So it's like I could resolve my unresolved issues because I knew once I resolved all my unresolved issues, that I'd come to like a state of calm. Here I am. And it would create like this like place where it's like I could truly shine and open up and like, and it worked. Like that whole 7-year conscious reprogramming of the cellular body, 6.5 years into it. June will be 7 years. I'm calm. I'm casual. I'm creating and I am like really settling into my most authentic self. Shout out to Jennifer Hart for helping me identify like authenticity and being surrounded with authentic people in her group of the Connected Soul Network. Genuine people, I always said for years prior. But like identifying authenticity. Yeah, no, that's what I was like really aiming for, to like really try to find myself through the process. And find myself was like to settle into like my values. And then within my values, it's like, oh yeah, that's like who I am, and then here I am. And so it's just been really amazing. Now I'm working on my avatar, my personal avatar, where I'm going to be moving forward. This is like my next week's homework. I'm moving forward, creating my personal avatar. It could be created 3 years, 5 years, 10 years out. Here's something interesting. So like before, like I had this, like I have a book, I have a folder, probably like that big, like no joke, like thick folder. Like it's like notes, you know, and I was like really like, dream big, dream bigger, dream even bigger. And like I did. And like I always did. I've always have since like high school. I had this like really, really huge, big vision of really connecting the world to create a global ripple effect of compassion this planet's ever seen before, and how to really unite us. And it was like really gigantic, but it was like outside of like it like was like my nervous system would always be kind of like, wow, this is like really, really big. And then I came to discover the human design. Again, shout out to Jennifer Hart and the Connected Soul Network for helping me identify and be guided to even knowing what the human design was. But oh my God, once I realized my human design, I'm a projector. Projectors are very wise, and we have to wait for the invitation, or else we become bitter. Oh, no wonder I've been bitter so much for most of my life, And it was because I'd always like shoot my wisdom out all over the place. That sounds dirty. I just shoot my wisdom all over the place. And so that's juicy. And if you went to the 12-hour Connect-a-thon, you understand that. Oh my goodness gracious. So, and then so like I would just become really bitter because I'd push people away, and I like discovered through my my projector energy. Okay, calm it down, I like discovered that like we do our best as projectors. We're 20% of the world. We make up 20% of the population of the world. We are unique. We are different, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's a really beautiful thing. Generators are like 70% of the world, if I remember correctly. And then you have like the reflectors that are only 1% of the world. It's really interesting. If you guys don't know what human design is, definitely look into that. And so I came to like realize that like I do my best work when projectors, and I mean, I'm just going to say projectors in general, we work well. We need a lot of downtime because we're very wise people. Projectors are extremely wise. We're able to like penetrate people's auras are able to like see through and like really identify like, oh dude, I can totally help that person. Like I can see like all the things that they need to work on. But we can't just like go out and like, hey, do this, because people are like, what? Screw you, man. I'm not gonna do that. Like, and it's, but when we sit there and we shine our light, like here I am. We shine our spotlight, our lighthouse. We become a lighthouse and we show our wisdom, and we have people come to us. Hey, listen, I heard that you know something about that. Do you think you can help me? Oh yeah, I can help you. Yeah. And so like I realized with that projector energy, that human design energy, that we do our best when we have a lot of downtime, like a lot of downtime. And 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 so we work best when we only work about between like 2 to 4 hours a day. And I'm like, that seems right. Like I always thought like maybe I was like lazy or something like that, but like I always felt like this, and it's like not hearing this. It's like, oh, that's like a relief. It's like, I'm not lazy. Like I always felt driven. I've always known I was driven, but it was like, like working and all this, I felt like really drained being around a lot of people. I'm kind of like introverted, I can be extrovert sometimes, but like I think my energy is more introverted. Downtime, a lot of downtime, and that's when I shine the best. And with that, I like realized looking back on my big goals, like this big vision I had, it's like I came to like realize like building teams and understanding the human design dynamic of like building teams around that. And it's like, oh, well, like I'm not good at that, but like generators are good at that. Manifestors are good at that. Like my big vision, like gigantic vision, so it's like gives like a whole dynamic, and it like kind of calms me as well, because it's makes me realize that like, okay, like I don't need to do all this because it goes against the human design energy of the projector that I am. But knowing human design people in the different dynamics and understanding that, you can build teams. And with this MER, mental emotional release process, I came to realize that like, going like gung ho and wanting to do all this stuff, like I want to be an influencer, I want to do this and I want to do that. And it didn't go with my energy. And it's like, I really discovered, I'm a writer. Like that's my place. Like I am a writer. Writing is so like it goes with my human design energy. It goes with the six core or the six big dynamics of life. Um, so we want to make sure that everything's in alignment, that we create balance, so we don't like be like those people that's like, oh, I put all my money and I put all my energy into career, and then my family fell apart. Like they don't want anything to do with me. It's because we put too much. We want to create balance, and balance within career, family, relationships, personal development and growth, health and fitness, and spirituality. And so it's like when looking at that like dynamic of what my career is, I gotta like see, does it align with all the others? Is it gonna like I need to like make sure my health is okay? I want to make sure I like maintain a relationship with my family and still kind of like keep working on that, mend that, And so yeah. And so writing, it like really like just kind of like dawned on me. Like, no, it's just writing. No big deal. Just writing. Like tell your story. I'm gonna tell my story with writing. It'll save people's lives. And like everything that I went through, and I'm gonna shine my light. Woo, woo, or whoop, 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 whoop. I don't know, whatever. Shine a light. And this is gonna like save so many people's lives. I have saved a lot of people's lives. You can save a lot of people's lives. Everyone can save people's lives. So just like dialing in and falling into yourself. My mental and emotional release, documenting my journey. I'm settling into myself. My shoulders are relaxed more and more each and every day. They get more and more relaxed, and life is good. Life is really good. And making a personal avatar 3 years out, because I can envision 3 years out, since I'm still settling into myself with my new baseline. It's like, oh, like before I had a big 10-year plan, but now it's like, well, I don't know. I got to kind of reevaluate that. 5 years, let's stick with 3. So like I'm focusing on the 3 years personal avatar, where I am, and what I have 3 years from now. It's amazing. It's really good stuff. I hope to be able to teach this to you in the future. If not, if you know anyone, or if you'd like me to, introduce you to people in this stuff, like that'd be totally cool. I don't mind that at all. Anyways, I'm a projector. I need to wait for the invitation. So here I am. Whoop, 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 whoop. I'd love to show you and introduce you to this stuff. It's really cool. And so like that's my documentation of this mental and emotional release. There you have it. I'm Mr. Michael Adams. This is Keep Inspiration Alive. My shoulders are relaxed. I'll see you next time. Toodaloo, people.